you intend to just stand there and accept your death?
You're saying I should change my mind and bend my knee to you? I believe that I would rather accept my own death than accept to bend the knee to you.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the series where we're counting down the top Dynasty Warriors characters as of the latest game. Coming in at number 45, we have Chen Gong. Chen Gong is best known as Lu Bu's advisor and main strategist who started his career under Cao Cao. In the novel, he is glorified further by assisting in Cao Cao's escape after he failed to assassinate Dong Zhuo and came up with a plan that had nearly killed Cao Cao during his attempt to retake Puyang. Historically, he was responsible for setting up Cao Cao's first base in Yan province. So Chen Gong was first introduced into the Dynasty Warriors series in Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends. So for me, he is a brand new character in Dynasty Warriors 9. And he's not going to have any changes because I didn't play any of the Extreme Legends expansions. Before we jump into that, let's go ahead and talk about Chen Gong and why he's up here at number 45. In the first popularity poll, Chen Gong received 808 votes out of a total of 75,000, putting him up at the 39th spot. In the second popularity poll, Chen Gong jumps up to the 29th spot. And then in my personal rankings, Chen Gong is all the way down at the 70th spot. So for me, he is a lot lower than the other two polls because I never played as Chen Gong. Again, he's a new character to me. I never played any of the Extreme Legends series, so I didn't know that Chen Gong was added into the game until Dynasty Warriors 9. So when I first made the list, I never played as him. So I was only going off of what I knew about him. And at the time, I only knew him as Lu Bu's advisor and, you know, the short scenes that he has in like Dynasty Warriors 6 when he's talking to him and stuff. But he was never really a character that I got into or really knew anything about, and that's why he's so low for me. Apparently, though, his popularity with the fan polls is what made him become a playable character, and that's why he became a playable character in the spin-off version. When Chen Gong was a non-playable character, he was more perceived as a collective and perceptive intellectual and was often portrayed as the voice of reason within Lu Bu's ranks.
Please wait, my lord. This battle is the largest and most dangerous we've ever been in. My advice would be that you wait until their forces have been weakened and then join the fray.
However, in the newest game, when he became a playable character, it implies that he has more of an agenda for himself. He seems more worried about pushing his own ambitions and acquiring his own goals using the strength of Lu Bu in order to get there.
The path to making my name known throughout the land has only just begun.
Initially serving Cao Cao, he believed that his ambition would prove beneficial, and he saw no shame in turning against Cao Cao after seeing the might of the physically stronger Lu Bu. During his time with Lu Bu, he shows his true colors as someone with ambition equal to or greater than his masters. This is very evident among Dynasty Warriors 9 in his story because there's a couple instances where he's actually arguing with Lu Bu on how to proceed with the matter.
We must find a way to develop our own strength to match him.
You just need to prepare a battle for me. Stop wasting your time offering your worthless opinions.
In order to overcome his dastardly schemes, we must form an army of our own that has enough might to nullify anything he can come up with.
Until now, I have done just as you have suggested. But you have the temerity to try and tell me what to do, and you go behind my back. I do not serve at your pleasure. Shu Province is not your land. Do not have ideas above your station.
When we get to Lu Bu, we'll talk about more about his personality and why Lu Bu was so butting heads with the strategists of his army because Chen Gong, again, he wants to be known throughout history as someone who served a great leader, and he shows a great amount of faith in Lu Bu's might, and that's why he's so adamant when he was coming up with strategies. Put Lu Bu's forces in the most advantageous position that he can be. But it was made clear to him by Lu Bu's daughter that Lu Bu does not care about tactical advantage. It's all about just showing up, going to battle, displaying that I'm the strongest. There's no need for strategy.
Why does he do that? Why does he not try and take every advantage to ensure victory?
My father does not consider issues of strategy or of claiming tactical advantage. All he desires is a battlefield upon which he can prove his might, Nothing more.
And that is where they bump heads, because Chen Gong is almost feeling like he's being stunted at times. He was trying to strategize a specific way in order to make it easier on his forces, showing a sense of justice and morality when he was, commanding the troops or telling Lu Bu how to command the troops. Just keeping them in mind, and hey, the people are tired. We can't keep attacking over and over and over again. We're running out of food and supplies, and we're outnumbered. We're going to lose this battle. It's not going to be beneficial for us. We need to retreat. And knowing Lu Bu's personality, he's just not that kind of person to go with that, and that's why they were constantly bumping heads. But Chen Gong was still loyal to Lu Bu because he believed that Lu Bu's might and strength was his best chance at fulfilling his ambition, and that's why he left Cao Cao and went to serve Lu Bu. With that being said, I guess we'll talk about Chen Gong as a character in the game, and just talk about everything all at once. He hasn't changed. He's a brand new character for me, so everything about him is brand new. And we'll go ahead and jump right into it. So the weapon that he has in Dynasty Warriors 9 is the chain and sickle, very similar to that of Jia Shu, who we did earlier, and a couple other characters that we're going to cover in the series. But it's a decent weapon for him. I can't complain too much about it. It's an okay weapon. I mean, I wouldn't jump to play it again, but I guess it fits him just fine. I can't complain too much about the weapon style. The Musou attacks for his weapon style is very similar to that of Jia Shu's and other chain and sickle users, but nothing too crazy. It's very basic and fits him just fine. His voice acting for Dynasty Warriors 9 is just fine. Could talk about the change from when he was a non-playable character in Dynasty Warriors 6 till now. But the voice acting he had for Dynasty Warriors 6 was the generic NPC for that character, so it's not really specific to Chen Gong himself. But the voice acting is fine. Again, can't complain. Brand new. We'll see how he changes in the next game, but can't complain too much about his voice acting. And of course, his appearance. I think his appearance fits him just fine. I think he looks really good for displaying that kind of, that sneaky kind of almost ambitious type that I believe Chen Gong is. Just doing whatever it takes in order to acquire his ambition. I believe that's who Chen Gong is, and not to the point where he would do anything, where he's sabotaging Lu Bu's forces or, anything like that, but just he's going to do whatever it takes to get his ambition. And then finally, his significant relationships, significant battles, and then his death. So his significant battles we'll start with. The main two is going to be the Battle of Zhu Province, and then of course the Battle of Jiapi. You can even make a argument for the Battle of Yan Province when he was with Cao Cao, because he was the reason that Cao Cao was able to acquire that land, but then he left, and then he joined Lu Bu. He advised Lu Bu to take over Zhu Province when Liu Bei took him in, and Lu Bu did. So Lu Bu was now the owner of Zhu Province because of Chen Gong's suggestion, and then the Battle of Jiapi happened. And throughout his story in Dynasty Warriors 9, he's trying his best to try and navigate Lu Bu's forces the best way possible, because he's a strategist. It's his job to think about these kind of things and navigate and advise, Lu Bu the best way possible. Because of Lu Bu's personality and how stubborn he is and how he wants to do things his way, they unfortunately lose the Battle of Jiapi. And I guess we'll talk about his death and relationship as well, because he dies at the Battle of Jiapi, and I believe the only close relationship that Chen Gong had is with Lu Bu. You could say he had one with Cao Cao because of his ending in Dynasty Warriors 9, but I don't think it was too significant. I think the ending in Dynasty Warriors 9 was more reflective of his historical death, and that's why he said what he said. But personally, I think he only had a relationship with Lu Bu. Again, the admiration for his strength and trying to use him as best as he could in order to fulfill his ambition. I believe that's what he was trying to do, and that's pretty much it. I mean, he gets captured at the Battle of Jiapi. Lu Bu's forces loses. Lu Bu, Chen Gong, and several other officers are executed, and Chen Gong's story comes to an end right there. But that's pretty much all I have for Chen Gong in the Dynasty Warriors series. It just seems like if Lu Bu perhaps wasn't as stubborn and actually listened to what Chen Gong said, he probably would have had a longer life period or lifespan within the Three Kingdoms era. We don't know. There are historical routes and historical stories within the game, stuff like that, and you see how it would go down. We'll cover that when we get to Lu Bu, but in terms of Chen Gong, unfortunately, he could not get through Lu Bu when it came to most of his strategies, and I think it led to a lot of Lu Bu's downfall, just not listening, and that's what led to everyone on his side pretty much getting killed. But That's all I really have for Chen Gong here. Short video, don't have much else for him. We'll see how he changes in the next game. I like the character. I think he's alright. Not a character I would jump to play right away, but you know, he's decent. I think he fits for who he is and what he represents and stuff like that. But I can't complain too much about Chen Gong. But that's all I really have for Chen Gong here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any comments, or if you guys use Chen Gong, let me know down below and I'll get to it. But if you guys enjoyed it, definitely appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.
先自